Hey, so this week I am working with a client who is interested in a home equity line of credit, and she had a ton of questions about what it is and how to use it. So in this video, we're going to spend just a couple minutes talking about home equity lines of credit and why it may or may not be right for you. The first thing, and I'm going to say this again at the end as well, is that there are three major things you need to know if you're considering a home equity line of credit. The first is, what are the terms of the home equity line of credit that you're signing up for? The second is, what are your goals? And the third is, are you ready to move forward? Those are the three things you really have to think about. So let's talk first about what a home equity line of credit is. So let's say you buy a house, and we're gonna use really basic figures here. You buy a house for $100,000. You put 20% down when you buy the house, so your loan amount is $80,000. That means you have 20% equity, or in this case, $20,000 in equity. A home equity line of credit is a flexible way for you to access that money that you have in equity. So purchase price $100,000, loan amount $80,000, $20,000 here to play with, right? So if you take out a home equity line of credit, it's a second lien against your house, and you can use that money at your discretion. So for instance, the borrower that I'm working with today is going to use her equity in her home to pay off credit cards with interest rates anywhere between like 15 and 25%, to pay off an installment debt that she has from when she redid her roof, and a couple other things like paying off some auto loans, and she also wants money to renovate her kitchen. Now, the way that this works out is that the home equity line of credit is generally a variable interest rate. The initial payments typically are interest only, but you could pay more towards principal. And then at some point in time, you go into like a fully amortizing principal and interest payment down the road. So what do you need to know? When you're working with a mortgage banker or loan officer, you need to ask what the terms are. What are the caps in interest rate? What's like the max it could be and what's the lowest it could be? How frequently does it change? What margin is it based on, right? These are questions you want to ask so you really understand, if doomsday scenario, my interest rate on the HELOC were to go up by 7%, could I afford the payment, and do I want to? So that's the first thing, is understand the terms. The second is know your goals. In this case, like the example we gave of $100,000 purchase price, $80,000 loan amount, potential access to $20,000. What do you want to do with that money? You might have competing priorities, right? A lot of people want to pay off all their student loan debt, but also buy a new car with it and maybe do some renovations, right? Well, you've got this much money. So what do you want to do with it? Where are you going to get the most bang for your buck? And I can't tell you that. That's got to come from you. The third thing is, be ready to make a decision. So when I say this, what I mean is, assuming that you know the terms and are good with the terms, and that you know how you want to apply that money to make it work for you, go, do it, move forward. If you're good with the terms, if you know what you want, go do the thing. Get the home equity line of credit or the second mortgage, which is something we'll talk more about in another video, and get your goals, like get after it. It's a new year, it's a new decade, now's the time. If you have questions for me about a home equity line of credit, please let me know in the comments, or you can reach out to me directly. Thanks.